Hey Sagittarius, welcome to Dark Eve Tarot. I'm Eve. We're gonna get you a message, and I have come up with a spread I call the competition spread. So we're gonna look at who or what you're in competition with, and we'll look at the fear, some kind of fear that's involved with that competition, your reaction to the fear, the consequences of that reaction, and we'll get some advice. And then, if you take the advice, what the real win is and the ultimate result. So, who is your competition, Sagittarius? We have the lovely Lilith. Alright, so in this deck, the Mausoleum of Souls, I am not a huge fan of what they decided to put in the description for Lilith. There are different versions of Lilith out there. In the deck in the book, they're calling her the thief of life. Keywords: hunger, animalism, instinct. I do agree that she's definitely, this archetype or this being is nothing to fool around with. Immense power, very strong, major presence. But I don't feel for you, Sagittarius, that this is about like you. I don't think this is you having some kind of competition with someone that is completely animalistic and eats you up alive and that kind of thing. I just feel like, I mean, look, it's just like powerful. Like you are in competition with someone that has great power, and I don't know that it's a winnable situation if you are competing for an award, a prize, something, or you know what I mean. Out of your league is what I'm. They're out of your league. They're in a whole different echelon. But it's a matter of perspective. So let's look at what the fear is here. So we have the Two of Cups. So for some of you, you could already be, like, you could be in a relationship with this person. I mean, there's plenty of couples out there where one of the persons is, like, at least on the surface, if not in reality, totally out of their league, but it works. So I don't know, it's like, it's weird. It's like like you want this to happen, you want this to be so, right? But you're really afraid of it. Because what would that mean? What would that mean for you to come together like that? It probably means that there's some other fear that will come alive or be prevalent, right? So here, this is your reaction to the fear. Oh, getting all judgy, are we? So we have the Judgment card here, and sometimes the Judgment card is, finally having your voice heard, right? But I don't feel that in this situation here. This feels more like being judgy, like maybe lashing out, or maybe being a little bit narcissistic in a way, or gaslighty, that kind of thing. To try to take them down a notch, to be more on your level or something like that. So here, this is a consequence of this reaction. All right, so the consequence of trying to take this person down a peg is just going to make you, number one, alone. There is no couple, or you know what I mean. It's like, it's not going to draw you together. It's going to push you apart. You're going to be further away from what it looks like that you want. Now, this could also be a situation where you want to be this person. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be a competition, but someone you compare yourself to that you want to emulate, right? So, again, though, with the consequences, it's like you're by yourself, alone, thinking about the future. Like, what's the future going to bring? How am I going to do this? It just leaves you wondering, and and you don't get that union with that thing that you want the union with, right? The something does not come together for you. So the advice here, what's the advice? The Handmaidens of Malice. Okay, so we're getting advice from Dante's Inferno. It actually has some pretty good advice in a lot of the cards. So the Handmaidens of Malice, I don't know, I kind of feel different ways about this card. The basically you can't F with them. You can't fuck with them. Like it's too much. Like you're not gonna win. You have to know when to retreat. You have to know when to get the hell out of Dodge, right? So, in that sense, this is about the advice is about picking your battles and knowing if you're bringing a knife to a gunfight, you're not gonna win. You need to go, or you know what I mean? Like you're outnumbered, you're outranked, and that kind of jives with this whole, powerful Lilith card, right? Like you're outranked. You're not gonna be able to take this person down a peg if that's what you're trying to do. And if you're trying to emulate this, it probably falls more into being yourself and allowing it to happen. But another thing about this card is, another thing is just it's another relation to Lilith, actually, because these three, there's a name for them, and I forget what it is. I'm not gonna get the book, but they basically summon Medusa, and in different schools of thought, there are some people that associate Medusa with Lilith, as if they are the same being, but just different versions or different, you know what I mean? So, I just find that really interesting. Again, unfuckwithable, right? Knowing when, don't bite off more than you can chew, Sagittarius. That's the advice, really. So if you follow the advice, right? If you take the advice, the Tower, well, you'll be mighty surprised, because the Tower is, it can represent a change, right? So something will change if you follow the advice. You won't run into the same kind of fears and circumstances, or perhaps toxic behavior, but you'll be surprised how they change, right? So the real win here is the Ten of Swords. And what is that? That's an end to the suffering. 10 is completion. 10 is wrapping it up, done, not going back there. And the Ten of Swords can be like the last pain, right? In a series of pains. So it's an end to some form of suffering, really, which is quite a relief. And so the ultimate result here is the Ace of Wands. So we have the Ace of Wands. What is that? That's like restored energy. It is a new form of energy, a new passion, it could even be like a new spiritual quest or journey or awakening or something like that, right? Something, and the aces are opportunities, so something opens up for you. Alright, so Sagittarius, this is your competition message, and I'll see you next time. Bye.